I want to talk about this decline in birth rate because of time here. In a recent interview with CBS News, you call the decline in birth rate a crisis. According to the CDC, birth rate in the U.S. have fallen to a 42-year low rate.
Right.
And why is that a crisis?
It's because we don't have enough young people who are going to grow up to be future workers and taxpayers.
And why is that?
Because they weren't born. If they're not born, they can't grow up, or else you can bring in immigrants too.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But the birth rate, the little kids, everybody thinks they're really expensive, but they're really valuable. After age 25, these kids start to pay off big dividends in terms of their tax contributions and their work effort, all these things.
Right.
When they're young, they're expensive.
Yeah.
And I think the government needs to cover more of the costs, don't put it just on the parents, because it's everybody's benefit to have those kids.
The older people are called boomers, right?
Yeah, baby boomers. Yeah.
Baby boom. I know that a lot of them are retired at an early age, like 50-something and early 60s. Where in the good old days, I don't know of many older people that even retired at all.
Right.
Why are so many boomers retiring at such an early age?
Well, I mean, maybe some retire early, but on average, they're retiring later and later.
Oh, they are retired?
Yeah, the earliest year for retirement was like 1985. That's when people retired. Most people retired around age 62.
Right.
But boomers been pushing it out longer, because the more educated you are, the more of a white-collar job you have, the more you're a preacher or a professor or a judge, you can go a long time.
Right.
But if you're a manual worker, you wear your body out.
Oh, I see.
And so police officers are on the manual worker schedule. They get retired at 55.
Yeah.
Like they worn themselves out, or firefighters.
I see.
And so you see them retiring. But on average, boomers are going longer and longer.
And so now that there are a fewer millennials and younger people, what's the solution to, and boomers are going a little longer, but we're not going to be able to make, oh, I know what I read this. You think that we should start, I guess, bringing in more immigrants and things like that, and helping them to become a part of America so they can work and pay taxes and all that. You wrote a book called Immigrants and Boomers,
Yeah.
Forging a New Social Contract for the Future of America.
Correct.
And you talk about California being an example of the trend that's happening in the rest of the country. What do you mean by that?
Well, people were worried about us against them, native-born versus immigrants, or white against, minorities. And I said, that's not the problem. The problem is we have way too many old people, not enough young people. And you should be grateful for all the young people you can get. And when I say way too many, that includes me. It's the boomers. And I also say it wasn't the boomers' idea in the first place. It was our parents' idea. So don't blame us for being too many. But we were born, and it happened, and we're here. And you need more young people. And whoever you're going to get them, and guess how you're going to get them? You're going to get a lot of them from immigrants. They're going to come in, they're going to be workers, and they're going to have their kids. And so they're going to help us balance our age structure, because it's really top-heavy. It's never been as top-heavy in America, ever. Not even close. We used to have 24 seniors per 100 working age. That was the ratio from like 1970 to 2010. And then in 2011, the first boomer crossed age 65. And it's been a flood of people getting into the senior bracket now. And that ratio is going from 24, it's going to 48 per 100. It's doubled the weight of seniors on the shoulders of working age. And the working age is going to need reinforcement. They're going to need better education, and they're going to need more people to help them. It can't just be on a few people's shoulders.
But if they were to close down the borders and raise the rates to work, minimum wage stuff or whatever they do, and American citizens start to make more money, where the wife can stay home, the husband and the wife can make truckloads of babies. If they make more money, wouldn't they be able to stay home and have more babies? Wouldn't it benefit America better if we kept the illegals out? Because we have drug addicts and prostitutes and pimps and drug lords and mothers with children from Mexico and all that crap coming in, and it's draining the system.
Most of the people who come in here are coming to work. They're not coming to do those things you just said.
But they are, because our government is offering them free housing, free health care, free education, free everything. And so they're coming with a welfare mentality because that's what the government is offering them.
Well,
And a lot of them are lazy.
They have a higher rate of working than the native-born Americans do. Like the men are like at 95% working. Some of the Latinas are only at 50% working. African American women are up at 80% working, really high.
Well, you know why that is, right?
Yeah,
And why is that?
because oftentimes they're the sole provider in their household.
Yeah, and the black man too lazy to work.
Well, black man maybe couldn't find a job that was.
No, they can find a job. Believe me, they ain't looking for no job.
Well,
I may not know my flaws, but I know black people.
you know, everybody has slackers in the family.
You can say that again.
Everybody does. And immigrants don't have slackers when they start, but after a couple generations, they can have slackers too. That's true. So we have to bring them along. And we haven't actually taken it seriously ever to provide that means of occupation for everybody.
But what's wrong with them? They can't provide for themselves. When I was growing up, I grew up on a plantation in Alabama under the Jim Crow laws. And we didn't need someone to provide for us. Our parents provided, and they didn't taught us to provide, and we didn't blame the white man. We knew that
But you had a structure to work within.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these young guys say don't have a structure.
Right. So it's not about white people. It's about not having a structure in their home.
Well, in the home, but in the community or in the workforce.
Well, not even in community, because in those days, the blacks wouldn't let us, as a little kid, if the other kids were bad, they wouldn't even let us play with the other black kids because they knew the parents were no good, right? And so it doesn't take a village. It takes a father and a mother.
Well, it helps a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely does help.
What helps?
They have a father and a mother. Both.
Absolutely. It's the key to life.
Well, you can survive without it, though.
Right? How?
Well, I have a single mother, parent.
Where was your father?
Divorced. He moved to California. He moved to West Hollywood.
Why did he leave your mother?
I do not know. I was too young.
Oh. Have you ever asked her?
Well, she was upset with him for different reasons.
Right. She couldn't control him, huh?
Yeah. Well, anyhow. So, but I know that you can still flourish well with a single parent, but it's easier if you have two parents.
It's the right way if you have two. Am I wrong for not wanting illegals and all these immigrants in my country? I wanted to be Americans and take care of home first. And once all that is taken care of, somewhere down the road, we can let in a few as needed through the front door. Am I wrong for that?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit. The notion of illegal is, when most white people came from immigrants,
Came from immigrants?
Yeah,
they were not illegal, though.
Well,
they were not crossing the border.
They were not illegal because anybody could come. Anybody.
Right, but they were not illegal. They didn't just
anybody could come.
Sneak in like that.
They just poured in the door.
Are you okay with illegals coming in?
I like to have an orderly process. I think we need to have a steady stream to keep things going. We can't pick the fields if we don't have immigrants. We can't staff the hospitals if we don't have immigrants. In Silicon Valley, half of those companies are founded by immigrants. So these are not all freeloaders.
Don't remind me of that. That ticked me off.
Well,
that's not a good thing.
We're stealing the best brains in the world and bringing them to California.
If it wasn't for white people, would there be an American?
That's what a lot of people say. Because
white people founded and created the greatest country in the world, right? If it wasn't for them, would there be an American?
There are lots of people in LA who've been studying the opposite, saying, what would have happened if we could have kept the white people on the East Coast and we could let the Mexican population grow here? And Mexico actually, the Battle of the Alamo was over a race between the Mexicans and the whites. The whites wanted to keep slavery going, and the Mexicans wanted to intermarry with blacks, and they didn't want any slavery. And that was the Battle of the Alamo, really, the frontier in Texas.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't for white people, would there? So let me just answer the question. If they had left California to the Mexicans, and all the white people went back east, you know what would happen? They would be moving back east, and California would be a ghetto.
All I know is everybody all over the world.
Am I right about that?
I do not know. Everybody,
Yeah, you do.
I do not know. Everybody,
Oh, you know.
I know everybody all over the world came to California because of the gold rush.
Yeah, it was nice.
They came to get rich fast.
Yeah. So if it wasn't for white people, would there be an America?
Yeah.
How?
How?
Because these people don't create, the Mexicans don't create anything.
Well, have you been to Mexico?
Even when they come here, they don't even assimilate with white people.
Have you been to Mexico City?
Mexico City?
Yeah.
In the U.S.?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
no, in Mexico.
Like over in Mexico?
I mean, that's quite a metropolis that they built there.
But why they try to come here? Why don't they stay in their metropolis?
They do stay. The ones that come here are from northern Mexico. They're poor workers in northern Mexico.
So why does northern Mexico won't go to their Mexican metropolis?
Because we have all these jobs up here.
We offer them free stuff.
Well, free stuff. The thing is, if I don't educate that little Mexican American girl, she won't be a really productive worker. And I need her to be top producing worker to help me when I'm old. And I know she can do it. And I know she can have a really good life and buy a house and all that.
But they're gonna be stealing from you too.
Well, not if she's educated. She will not be stealing.
She won't steal.
Nope. She's going to be making money.
Are you married to a white woman or Mexican?
A white woman.
You married to a white woman?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
But no, I've had many workers in my house. Nothing's ever been stolen.
Every housekeeper I had, a Mexican house stole.
Really?
They would come in with these big empty bags on their shoulders.
Really?
Oh, hi, senor. Good morning, senor. Glad to see you. And then that evening when I come home and they leave it, the bag is all puffed out with stuff.
They must have thought you had too much stuff.
Evidently.
You were rich.